So today we're going to be talking about a topic that's been on my mind for quite a while now, and that's why simulator games have been getting, well, repetitive. Whether it's farming simulators, truck driving, or even flying planes, simulator games have been rising in popularity, especially in the past 2 years. But lately more and more people are kind of start to feel like they're stuck in a loop, the same gameplay over and over with very little change. So let's kind of break down what's happening. So overall, simulator games are a niche for people who want to experience things that they might never do in real life, like flying a plane, running a farm. For some people it might even be just driving a car. But as the genre exploded in popularity, the focus seemed to kind of shift. But let's kind of break down the case when it comes to games like this. First of all, they're very cheap to make compared to traditional AAA games, right? It's not going to cost you millions, but might cost you still a decent amount of money, but less than the previously mentioned AAA games, because more and more assets are available for free and more accessible thanks to powerful engines like Unity and Unreal. What this means is that developers can pump out simulator games pretty quickly without having a huge budget. The catch is that a lot of them reuse the same mechanics as assets just with a new setting, and while this may seem like a good idea at first, it can quickly lead to a sense of seamlessness or just games being repetitive. Just one game that there is no way I am talking shit about is Euro Truck Simulator, because that game is the OG, okay? I played it in elementary school and thought it was revolutionary. And compared to games today, I still think it's holding it down on its own. But let's take a look at the same time at games like City Builders. When you take a look at them, it's kind of oh, okay, so we're gonna have different graphics than in that game, but it's still the same game that was 5 years ago. And I'm still building the same roads and placing the same buildings, and then also going bankrupt because I had to take out a loan. As you can also kind of tell, I'm not really that big of a fan of City Builders because I'm too dumb to play them. Because I may have played 2 and burned down both of my villages. I never got to the city part, by the way. But let's get back on track. Overall, the reason why simulator games are as boring as they are, it's basically because of the fact that they also never really leave early access, if we're being honest. Any game that recently came out and that has simulator in the title is in early access, and they're never interesting enough for you to play for them to leave early access because there's so little content. An example of that for me, at the start I loved Supermarket Simulator because oh, I can adjust the prices, I can be the cashier. As weird as that sounds, I actually kind of enjoy that. You can restock stuff. Oh, there's a different version of this game with the same name. It's free, and there's multiplayer. Might look a bit worse, but and you kind of see the pattern. And while these games never overpromise, they do nearly always just underdeliver. Because when it comes to further updates, they never really give us that much content. It's just maybe a new vehicle, a new crop, or just a couple of items, and that's it. And in these games, for the most part, it just feels like you're just ticking boxes rather than having an actual challenge or a sense of progression. And as I mentioned before, games have gotten very popular in the past couple of years. There's so many simulator games out there right now that it's really hard for them to stand out unless it's a streamer with a following like Shroud who's playing the game and advertising it, so then people will be oh wait, this is actually kind of interesting. A different scenario is for Power Wash Simulator, because from what I've seen, people still love to play it and stream it, which is actually quite surprising because as far as I know, the game's kind of old. But where does this actually leave us? Are sim games really doomed to be repetitive forever, or is there just still some hope for them? But in my opinion, it's not exactly going to be the case that they're going to suddenly become super interesting, because the key to kind of break the repetition that these kind of games have is innovation. And when it comes to innovating, you actually have to try to push new features, but these features haven't really been accepted in like a positive way. So it does really depend on the developers. Like if they try to push boundaries on what can be done rather than playing it safe, you might see some breakthrough. But overall, it just seems to be a recycled concept for the near future. So, but if you do think that there are games like this that are worth a shot, let me know, because I'm kind of trying to get recommendations for like games to play in general, since some other ones that I've played aren't that interesting for me anymore. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. It does mean a lot to me, and as always, good luck in the game.